You're listening
You're listening
to
another episode
of the FreshTakes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the FreshTakes podcast. I am your host, Tim, alongside my two co-hosts, Tank and Pat. And Pat, next week I will see you for that number one pick.
Hey,
Yeah, I was really hoping I would go for that number one pick. I'm not even gonna lie.
You should have, as your name says, tanked.
I'm not upset because the seeding, I would have been sixth, or I don't know. Anyway, I probably would have been matched up against Grady, and I could never beat him.
That's who Tank plays. He plays Grady.
There's no chance I would have beat Terry or Joey. So, first pick sounds better than
Joey's winning it.
Playoffs.
Nah, dude, somebody needs to take on Joey. He cannot go 16-0.
Looking rough.
Yeah, I was hoping you would have accepted my trade before this week, Pat, because I didn't think you were going to win, and that would have been a better draft pick for me.
Yeah, I didn't see it until like yesterday, I think, or like right before the games, and then I was like, oh. And then I was like, well, I wouldn't keep him, so I would just be losing a draft pick.
That's what I was trying to do. I was just trying to get that draft pick. I sent it to Joe, and he's like, this isn't a dynasty league, so the draft picks are kind of useful.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I tried, The only people who trade in this league is Tank and I. But, all right, boys, you ready for some In-N-Out?
Lord.
I've never had In-N-Out.
Me neither. Anything good?
What? I don't know. I just said I've never had In-N-Out.
I mean, the question was for Pat.
Fries weren't that good, but the burger was.
Okay. In-N-Out or Five Guys?
Oh, sorry. In-N-Out. Five Guys, everything's good. I love everything about Five Guys.
So you'd pick Five Guys over them?
Yeah, probably.
All right. First, in or out, the Jaguars will trade Travis Etienne during the offseason.
I'm in. I think they'll attempt to. Whether it gets done or not, maybe.
I'm in. They definitely have shown Bigsby's more of the main guy, and I think next year his contract is over. So, they won't have to re-sign him next year. They can just shop him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. I really do. Like you said, they're showing Tank is the next go-to.
Yeah,
Y'all are right.
I put him in fantasy, and he had like 10 points, and I was like, wow, they're actually using ETN more. And then I looked to see he had one carry for 7 yards. It's just he had 5 catches.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I think last week we said that they need to throw the ball to him more because he's a very good receiving back. So, all right, I would say that was an easy one. We're all in on that. I think, definitely, because I think they need the money. And, I mean, they're probably going to get second round draft pick next year, maybe third. I think Giants, Titans, and Raiders are the only teams with 2 wins, and then Jacksonville has 3.
Yeah, too bad Dallas couldn't just tank the rest of the season.
They tanked the game last night.
Yeah, they probably told him, hey, let's make us look like we tried, but touch the ball after you block.
I don't know. Omani was on the Giants at the beginning of the year, so maybe he was trying to get back at Dallas. But, all right, next in or we out. Kickers this year have been worse than the past years.
100%.
And I would have to say, man, they're missing a lot of field goals this year.
So yeah, I'll say like even the pretty solid career guys are having kind of iffy.
Tucker looks bad. I think this is the first time Brandon Aubrey's missed a field goal this year. Jake Elliott missed that big one in the Panthers game.
Yeah, Elliott hasn't been clutch. Koo
I would say Koo's
fell
looking
off.
awful.
Um, what's his name from the Chiefs?
Booker.
Yeah, like, I don't even feel like he's doing. Like, I'm not saying he's a great, elite kicker, but he's usually a decent
I don't think
kicker.
he's missed one this year. He's hurt right now.
I thought he missed one during the Cincinnati game.
He might have, but I would say I know he's hurt right now. I think the only kickers that are solid right now are Boswell.
Well, if you also notice, there's like a lot more blocks than ever before.
Yeah,
So there's some type of breakthrough on special teams defense. I don't know, like,
I think it's more
Even on
because
punts.
they're now yelling at the centers that they can't lift their heads after the ball is snapped. So it's easy for them to jump over them now.
yeah. There's even been a few like off the edge blocks this year. I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
mean, if you watch a lot of them, people on the edge, they don't even try to block. They just stand there. I
Yeah,
say they're like not caring. I think this year the special teams for field goals and extra points have gotten lazy.
maybe they
you
they
feel
want
like
more money, so they're going out there like, oh, special teamers, fine. We don't matter. We'll
I'm the
show you
third
how
string tight end. Maybe you make me first.
much.
do you think that maybe they'll get to the point where they can opt for a how the the UFL now does it, like the 1 point from like the what is it, the 5 yard line, and 10 yard line is a 2 point, and the 20 yard line is 3 points.
I doubt it because I mean at that point you might as well just get rid of the kicker because the kickoffs they kind of screwed the kickers over and then you get rid of the extra point attempt and your kickers are basically useless at that point.
Yeah.
I get that point, but I'm just saying, see it happening down the road.
All right, so next up, in or we out? Kevin Stefanski will be fired at the end of the year.
100% in. I'm actually
Um,
shocked that this far into the season.
Part of me wants to say that he'll just resign.
Just,
Like I feel like he doesn't even want to be there anymore. He's probably just like, yeah, I'm out. Just give it to Mike Vrabel.
yeah.
Nah, I see them getting rid of him.
But I mean, I also don't know if it's on Stefanski. That's the problem. I mean, the first half of the year, yes, for not putting in Winston, for trying to write out the Watson thing. And then they took the play calling away from him, and then Watson got hurt. And I mean, I think Cleveland's kind of been turning it around. That Steelers game was kind of rough, but I mean, they won the first Steelers game, and then they kept it close against the Broncos.
Um, no, I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah, I
I'm
think
still
just overall the organization might take a little refresher. So like I th- I think just his era is kind of timed out. Like good coach, but there's not much more. Yeah, like they're not gonna get to the playoffs again with him, with their current team structure or anything. So
I think he's kind of like a Sala and a I guess you could say Hackett, better as a coordinator, not really head coach material.
yeah.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna send it on over to Tank for that catch though with Tank. Take it away, Tank.
Welcome to this week's episode of That Catch, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of That Catch. Though I got three nominees, one honorable mention. We'll get right into it. My honorable mention goes to Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller from the Pittsburgh Steelers. My first nominee goes to Puka Nakua from the Los Angeles Rams. Here's the video.
Looking, launching. It is the Nakua. Did he stay in?
Video number two comes from Mike Williams of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the video.
Wilson's pass, reach around, caught.
And the third video goes to Byron Murphy of the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the video.
Before he was hit, Byron Murphy with a...
And after that, you saw all three videos. Congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings, Byron Murphy, for winning this week's That Catch Though. Congratulations.
All right, I'm glad you threw that one in there because I have a little controversy on that play actually. Before we get into the in and outs again, he caught that ball on the 3 yard line and ran back in the end zone and kneeled it. Why was that not a safety? Say he caught the ball and then ran into the end zone and kneeled it.
Let me go to my videos and look at that.
I would say he did
Well,
not catch it in the end zone. He caught it before going into the end zone and then went in and kneeled it.
was it like a carried momentum thing though, or
Yeah,
If
that's
you
what it
still
looks like.
catch it though, it doesn't matter. If you run it into the end zone and you have to come back out.
well, it like depends because if they say like he didn't like how they say catch is 2 feet and football move. Like if he didn't get established in a first like football move until his momentum was into the end zone,
I don't
then
know.
they
I
would
think when
mark.
he caught
So,
it at the 3,
well,
he had both feet before he even
he
went
caught
in.
he so he got his hands on at the three. It looks like at the 3 yard line, and then he fully pulled it in at the two. Brings it in one step, 2 steps. His second step is at the actual goal line.
I have no idea.
Or-
I would say
I didn't.
I
I didn't
felt
actually
like
think
I felt
about
like it should have been a safety, but I also felt like Puka Nakua should have won that catch though. So you know.
it. Yeah, it was
You know,
just.
everything's not about you.
Look, man, we finally were able to pull back Pat into this week's episode. He quit last week and we brought him back for this episode. Don't run him off again.
Make me do
Uh,
All
I
right.
mean,
Now, I'm kind of throwing in an in or out that we had last week into this week, but I'm changing it. So last week
okay.
we had the NFC West winner would have a losing record, but now I'm putting the NFC South winner will have a losing record because you have the Bucks who are 7-6, the Falcons who are 6-7, the Saints who I think are now 5-8, 5-9. I could be wrong, and then you have Carolina that's 3-10. I mean, yes, the Bucks need to win 2 more games, and I think one is against Carolina. But I don't know. I feel like they're they might be in a rough spot too.
Well, okay. So the Bucks, you got the last 4 games. They got at Chargers, at Cowboys, home against the Panthers, and home against the Saints.
I guess that's probably 3 wins right there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they get to 9.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I need Atlanta to come back and win that division though. And I know Atlanta's not going to do it.
Well, Kirk just has to turn it on. All right.
Well, I think that they got like a pretty hefty team they got to play, and then they have the Giants.
I was gonna say the last 4 games for the Falcons are at Raiders, home against the Giants, at Washington, and home against the Panthers.
They might lose
But
the
are
Washington
they
game, but
the same record, or are they like?
they're one below, but they're 2-0 against Tampa.
So
That's true.
yeah,
Hey,
So they would
Tampa
have.
7-6, Atlanta 6-7. And I think that they both can get at least 3 wins. If you think Tampa can get 2, then they tie at 9-8, and Tampa would lose because the Falcons have the 2-0 over them.
Yeah, it comes out.
the Bucks would have to. Yeah, Bucks could only win 2 games. And what did I say? They have the Chargers,
Chargers,
Cowboys,
Cowboys, Panthers,
Panthers,
Saints.
Saints.
And they always struggle against the Saints. Although this year they kind of blew the Saints out of the water.
I could see them
And the
losing.
Saints aren't going to have Carr for the rest of the year.
I could see them losing to the Chargers. I mean,
I don't know. With how Dallas has been playing, I think there's a possibility Dallas could win. Especially if Bucky Irvin's out for a while.
it's really going. Honestly, I don't see them. I see Bucks beating Panthers, and I see them honestly beating the Saints.
Yeah,
So
especially since Carr's out. I don't know. Tampa could lose to Carolina because Carolina is actually kind of looking a lot better now.
They're
Almost
playing
beat
great,
the Chiefs, almost beat the Eagles.
playing good football.
I don't know. I think they both lose to the Panthers, and it comes down to the final game.
They lose out. Panthers go 7-10, win the division.
I
Hey,
mean that would be
anything's
some
possible
wow,
at this point. All
wow.
right. Are we in or we out? Guardian caps are not as effective as we think.
I see. I'm iffy on that because I feel during practice, I feel that they're more beneficial. But I think during the game, they're not as beneficial. I think the reason I feel that is during game time, you're taking more punishment in a game. At practice, you're taking punishment, but you're not going full force to hurt your practice teammates. You're not out there to hurt your teammates. So they're playing a little softer. That's why I'm kind of iffy that yes, they are beneficial for practice, but not during game time.
See, I don't know if I could say yes or no because I don't know like the statistics of the people who are wearing them and their concussion rates and the people who aren't wearing them with their concussion rates because sometimes they're doing a good job of like blending it in with the helmet. Like some of these people I don't even realize are wearing Guardian caps. It's not like at the beginning of the year when Jabril Peppers put on a Guardian cap and it was like three times the size of his helmet. And you could clearly tell he had a Guardian cap on.
No, like I said, I feel like it's more beneficial during practices than games.
So yeah, I think it's kind of hard to determine. I can't really say yes, I can't really say no, and you know. But all right. The NFL should not have six teams on a bye during 1 week.
uh, is that reference in this week?
Yes. You had the Colts, the Texans, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Broncos, and the Commanders all on bye this week. And I mean, one thing is coming from a fantasy standpoint. I mean, I didn't have anybody affected by it. But I mean, you have somebody like Joe who's literally seven of his players were out because of the bye. But I just think,
I
in
think I
my
had
opinion, I mean, you go like week nine, nobody's on bye. Why not take two of the teams from week 16 and put them on the bye?
wasn't it back then. I don't know when they changed it, but it was like week 4 through week 12 or week 13 it was that you had they everybody had to take buys.
I think it was 4 through 11. You had to go on bye by then because they
And
wanted
then
like the last 4 weeks to be nonstop football.
yeah, and like each week there was only 4 teams that were on buys. Usually two from AFC and two from NFC. So I think that's what it should go back to, at
Yeah,
least in my opinion.
I just don't like them throwing six teams into a bye. And I mean,
Oh, so I mean, I'm in.
say I think what that means there was five, maybe six 1 o'clock games, three 4 o'clock games, and then you had your Sunday Monday. But I don't know, man. I don't like you're like, oh hey, let me go see if this team's playing. Bye. Okay, well then let me see if this team's playing. Bye. And it's like, come on, man.
Well,
And
if you do it correctly, it'd be bye bye bye.
this was
Don't make
this
me
was
edit in
like
that video again.
the last this was the last bye week, right?
Yes.
So I think, I mean, it is dumb to have six when you have two other weeks, but like I think they kind of front load like the first bye week there's a hefty amount, and then the last bye week there is, and then
I
it's
know
like
week 4 there was 4 teams.
Yeah,
There's like
and
the
then
Eagles, the Panthers, and like two others.
I think after that it was like three teams max or something each other week. But like,
Yeah.
I, I mean, luckily for our league, the playoffs didn't start last week. But like my other league, it was the first round of playoffs, and there was a guy that had like six people on bye, and I was like, all right, that sucks. Like,
See, that's another
Yeah, I would
thing.
say
When I
that.
do fantasy, I try not to pick a lot of players that are on by the same week.
yeah,
Yeah, there. I think it was this year. I had picked, and I was like, three of my receivers are all out on bye on the same week. Why did I not look at this? And then, I think I had both my quarterbacks were on bye, so that's when I was like, well, I gotta trade one of them. So yeah, I don't like the whole let's put six teams on one week.
So yeah, let's go back to the old style. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's head it over to Tim with "Have a Day." Take it away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just like Tank, I have an honorable mention, but it's not one player, it's technically two. It's the Vikings receiving core because both Jefferson and Addison both went off, and it was kind of hard to put both. I didn't want to take up three spots, two of them being Minnesota Vikings receivers. And I mean, I even could have thrown Sam Darnold in there, who had an amazing game. So, all right. First up is the first person that Tank nominated for his that catch, though. I have 12 catches, 162 yards, one touchdown, five rushing attempts for 16 yards and a touchdown, Mr. Puka Nakua. Last night, Tank is going to get hurt by hearing this one. We had four catches, 177 yards, two touchdowns, and one rushing attempt for 14 yards. We had Mr. Jamar Chase. And your winner was 22 for 37 with 342 passing yards, three touchdowns, 10 rushing attempts for 82 yards, and three touchdowns. Mr. Josh Allen. Have a day.
I don't know if I would have gone with him though.
wouldn't have gone with him, Tank.
I don't
Wouldn't
know
have
You're
that
going to
I
gone
would
with
make
have
him.
Pat
picked.
quit. Stop.
The first player in NFL history with 3-3, and you wouldn't have gone with him.
I don't know if I would have gone with Josh.
The Bills still lost. That's
Oh
why he
yeah,
won't do it.
sorry. Rico Dowdle had 98 yards. I mean,
No, I would. No, I wouldn't have gone him with it. Honestly, I would have gone with Puka.
He wanted me to go with Micah Parsons. One QB pressure, one walk off the field before the game fully ends, and three tablets thrown.
I mean, y'all gonna make me quit.
And one Simpsons character making him look stupid.
That's it. I'm quitting.
You should have went with the AJ Brown. One complaint that my quarterback can't throw a football into a lake.
Or should I go with Drew Lock? One, I could make a first down, but we need a tank, so I'm going to run halfway across the field.
I mean, yeah, I would have, but no, I think I would have honestly gone with Puka. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't. I'm not taking it away from Josh because what he did was phenomenal and awesome. But
Here's why
I
I'm
don't.
going to disagree with that. Jamar Chase had 20 more yards than what Puka did, and one more touchdown than what Puka did. So even if I didn't take Josh Allen, Jamar Chase still did better than Puka.
Agree to disagree. I'm not saying that the stats that you read off. I'm not disagreeing to that. I'm disagreeing to why I don't know. I would have gone with different, but we all have uh opinions. Like we all have buttholes.
But all right, are we in or are we out? The NFC West winner will come down to the last game of the year. That is the Seahawks versus the Rams.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it'll be 8-8 Seahawks versus 8-8 Rams, and winner goes into the playoffs.
What's the Cardinals?
Cardinals are 6-8 right now.
Yeah, they're cooling
Say
down a little bit.
we thought that they were gonna do good, and then they couldn't even stop the Seahawks.
Yeah, they were supposed to
Cardinals'
do
last four games are home against Patriots, away at Panthers, away at Rams, home against the 49ers.
Yeah, I honestly think only they got is Patriots. I think they lose to the Panthers. I think they lose to the Rams, and I think they probably lose to the Niners.
And they're 6-7, so they're getting two, so that'd be a 9-7. No, nine, no, 8-9.
No, I only gave them one win, so they would be 7-10. I only
I
gave
give
them
them
the
two.
Patriots.
I give them two, so they'll go 8-9. Yeah, I'll go in with the 9-8 West.
Well, let's see. You
Rams
got
and
the Rams who are 7-6, and they have Niners, Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks, which I think honestly that's just went out right there. You know, they go up against the Seahawks. They'll be 10-6 before facing them. And then let's see what the Seahawks record is, if my computer would load it. All right. Seahawks, who are 8-5 right now, would have the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, the Rams. Yeah,
that was the Seahawks.
yeah, the Seahawks. I mean, I think the Seahawks get the Bears.
I think this game against the Packers is going to be huge. I think.
Yeah, actually, I think Minnesota will be huge because Packers is Sunday night, and we all know how Gino is under the lights.
Well, aside from Thanksgiving Day, it's not like Jordan Love has been.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I think, like we said, if um they'll go 9-7, the Rams will be 10-6. And yeah, it's honestly going to come down to that game. Seahawks win, they'd be in because I think the Seahawks have one loss in their division right now. And the Rams have two losses in the division. So, yeah, I
Okay.
honestly want to say that it'll come down to that final game.
Yeah, I'll go in on that.
So, all right. Next, enter we out. JJ McCarthy will not be the starter next year, and Sam Darnold will keep his run going.
I'm
Out.
out.
Really? I think Darnold returns, and I think he plays as the starter.
No, he doesn't return.
Nah, I
Aaron
think
Rodgers gets to be the starter.
Look, I'm out. Daniel Jones will be elevated from the practice squad to be the starter.
No, no. Honestly, I am out. I think Sam Darnold will go somewhere else.
I think because of Daniel's poor play since his contract, they'll be able to give him more like 35-ish million. Whereas Sam Darnold's played so well this year, he's gonna get like a 40 to 45, like Daniel did, and they're gonna go with the cheaper option because I think Kevin O'Connell thinks he can take whoever at quarterback and have a pretty good system. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
could
know.
honestly, I mean, the Giants could use Sam Darnold.
Giants are gonna get Shadur or Cam Ward, so it's not gonna really matter. They'll
I don't
probably
see y'all getting Shador.
I I mean we have the first pick right now.
Yeah, I
hey,
don't.
until they bench Drew Lock, that's why they're not putting Tommy DeVito in.
Say,
And
I think we get Shadur,
Tim,
and when we get
Tim, you
Shadur,
were
Dayball gets pushed out, and we get
Tim, you were
Dion.
so excited for Drew Lock.
Yeah, I know, dude. When we signed him, I was like, thank God, we're gonna have a QB battle. Drew Lock's gonna win, and he's gonna take us to the promised land. Because did you not see Drew Lock last year against the Giants? The guy was like 26 for 31 and 300 passing yards. And then he comes in for the Giants, and what happens in the first quarter? He's 0 for 10.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between playing for the Giants and playing against the Giants.
Yeah. Well, there's also a difference between playing good and being told you need to tank so we can get the first pick.
Touche.
You
So,
just
all
have
right.
to Drew unlock his potential.
Look, I don't know what the Giants are going to do quarterback next year. We got rid of Daniel. Tommy DeVito's on a 1 year contract. Drew Lock's on a 1 year contract. We don't re-sign them. We have zero quarterbacks.
Big Ben's coming out of retirement.
We're going to have to re-sign Odell Beckham and put him back there. But all right,
We'll
the
we'll give you Trey
last
Lance.
I'd take Trey Lance. All right, last in or we out. Now this one I kind of want to hear what you guys say. The NFL should do more Disney Plus games. I don't know. I think the one a year is kind of nice, but
I mean,
I think it's so glitchy.
yeah, they haven't perfected it from that Toy Story one.
I
I
want to see them do something better. I don't care for Simpsons.
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't
it's
care for The
Like
Simpsons.
I know
I
you could
tried to
do
get in.
so many characters. That's probably why, but I don't know,
yeah,
man. I mean, I feel like
I
you should just do all Disney. Like I want to
I
see
turned it
Maui at tight end while you have fucking anxiety at quarterback.
yeah,
anxiety.
Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of quarterbacks who are anxious when they see somebody busting through that offensive line.
yeah, it's true.
I mean, like I said, I turned the Simpsons game on, and I was like, screw this. I'm going to the real
I
game.
would say
Like
I turned it on the first drive and I was like, "Yep, I'm just watching the real thing."
I
Yeah,
watched like two
had to see
minutes
it.
of The Simpsons. I couldn't get into it. I think the idea is brilliant. I really like the idea. I think they can do better at it. There's my do better, but I don't know.
And here comes Homer Simpson into quarterback.
Yeah, and then I flip to the TV and I don't see Homer Simpson. I just see freaking Joe Burrow. Like, what's
I
going
know. I
on?
was like, wait a minute, they didn't sub anyone in.
But all right, Pat, give us a preview. I know the number 32.
Dallas
Yeah,
Cowboys.
you might be locked in there for a little bit, Tim. Especially
Look,
since the Panthers have started playing pretty well.
it's between us and the
Vegas
Titans.
might Vegas might overtake you
I
at
don't know,
some point.
man. Tennessee, dude. Only getting 9 points. Giants at least got 11.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, they should have had 14 too,
We should
Uh,
have had a touchdown.
but flip side, I mean, you hate to do it because they played well, but the Bills are gonna have to drop a little bit because of a loss. Um, I might just drop Kansas City out of the top 10 because I'm sick of them. Uh,
Look, man, this better be the week that you don't snub Seattle.
yeah, well, it's so hard to put Seattle up there when they're like the worst of the top 10 team. Like,
Well, I mean, they still got to be in there, man. They're 8-5 right now.
so are the Broncos
Yeah, and the Broncos
and the
are in
Ravens
there.
and the Commanders and the Chargers.
Yeah, and the Chargers just lost.
I got a question. Did
That's
the
true.
Eagles fall a little bit?
No, they didn't fall.
But
The Bills
they
lost and the Eagles are right behind them. How would the Eagles fall?
be okay. I'm
Okay,
saying
I'm kind of agreeing with him. I put Minnesota above Philly.
I'm
I
not
think
saying
I think Minnesota had a great game.
I'm not saying Eagles
Yeah,
fall completely out. I think they should be. They were what three last week, so maybe four this week. I'm just saying go to four, and the reason being the I know for sure this week.
Actually, I don't know. I'm
What was
agreeing
the
with
last week?
Eagles 3. I think Bills and Vikings should switch. I think Vikings should take 2 and Bills should go to 4. And the Eagles stay at 3.
maybe, maybe. But if we're looking at overall power rankings, I mean, the Eagles' pass game is a lot better than the Vikings.
Oh
I don't know.
man,
I
you
feel
got
because the
jokes this
Eagles.
episode.
Because they struggled a little bit. That's why I'm saying they should fall. I'm not saying fall out. I just
Hey,
say
hey Pat, why should the Eagles get raised up? Passing.
Oh, why should they?
Yeah, passing.
Oh, yeah, passing. No, because they continue to win with like 11 pass attempts and under 120 passing yards every week. Like that's insane.
I don't know. I would put Minnesota above them, but hey, you're the one who does the rankings. I got ridiculed by you last week. I'm just trying to return it this week.
I
But
got it.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, comment down your favorite part. Tell us who you think got snubbed, like Puka not winning that catch though, or according to Tank, Puka not winning have a day. So, that could have been the first time that we had somebody win both on the award this year. But other than that, take it away,
Maybe we got to
Pat.
link up together.
I'm waiting for the one day that we just surprise each other and do it.
Well, as Tank pointed out earlier, we all have opinions and we all have b-holes. Uh, my opinions are small. My b-hole is not. Um,
Whoa! This just took a turn.
Uh, no, I got a pretty good. I wanna get freeze framed to your facial reactions once I said that from both of you. Maybe make a shirt. But Tank, going to you, buddy.
Oh, wowzers. All right, you can follow us on the good old X, aka FKAARTA, Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Don't forget one subscriber. Once we hit the 100 subscribers on our YouTube page, we will be giving you a prize from yours truly, Tim Tank and Pat. And I'll have a new uh, hot take out on the TikTok coming this week. Other than that, I will see you all next week. Peace from the one who is in the playoffs.
Bye, everybody.